5,320 feet above sea level, beneath the shadow of Mount Mazama, from the west flank of radiant Blue Crater Lake, a natural spring percolates to life among the dense green foliage of the high Cascades in southern Oregon. The Rogue River begins its 215-mile downhill course for the briny embrace of the Pacific Ocean in Gold Beach on the southern Oregon coast. The Rogue River is a spectacular natural wonder of southern Oregon and the heartbeat of many communities nestled along its banks. It has served and continues to serve as a means of river commerce throughout a storied history of a time not so long ago. The River Tour experience today is a continuation of the vital role the Rogue River has played throughout history as a means of connection to communities, people, and the outside world. This is the story of Jerry's Rogue Jets, the premier jet boat tour on the wild and scenic Rogue River in southern Oregon. Commencing in the 1850s, gold miners and pioneers ventured deep into the Rogue River Canyon, cutting themselves off from regular communication to the outside world. Pioneer Elijah H. Price, homesteading at Big Bend, 40 miles upstream, began petitioning the United States Postal Service to establish mail delivery service by boat up the Rogue River. In 1895, the United States Postal Service agreed to a trial year of postal delivery by boat. The delivery route took 4 days to reach its upstream destination at Big Bend using only sail, pike pole, and rope lining. The trial was a success. The next year, in 1896, an official USPS contract was issued for weekly mailboat delivery. Throughout the 20th century, mailboats skillfully navigated the shallow, rocky environment of the Rogue River with hauls of mail, freight, and passengers. Rudimentary gasoline engines first appeared in the 1900s, making river travel more efficient. The double-end boat design and propeller propulsion style remained relatively unchanged throughout much of the 20th century. In 1958, brothers Jerry and Alden Boice revolutionized boating on the Rogue River with the introduction of the hydrojet boat design. The hydrojet used water as the propulsion medium, eliminating the external propeller protruding below the bottom of the boat. This new design allowed for shallow water navigation, perfectly suiting itself to the Rogue River's environment. Jerry's incorporated the addition of a public address system, speaking to travelers during their tour of the history, natural environment, and whimsical stories of characters of the past. Jerry's original Rogue River jet boat tours was established and ready to usher in a new era of jet boat excursions. A tour with Jerry's Rogue Jets begins at the port of Gold Beach, where our fleet of sleek, modern hydrojet vessels sit ready for daily excursions up the Rogue River. Passengers wait with anticipation, mingling and preparing, before being called to action and ushered down the ramp. A brief safety introduction and overview of the day's adventure, and passengers are ready. Pulling away from the dock, passengers set course through the port of Gold Beach, an area with assorted moorage of private and commercial vessels. Heading out of port, passengers view the effects of daily tidal cycles, vertically raising and lowering the water level 2 to 8 feet, exposing rocky and muddy flats. Resident California sea lions, harbor seals, and a variety of bird life sit perched on docks, pilings, and spread across tidal flats, watching and waiting for their next meal. A massive rock jetty entrance marks departure from the port and into the Pacific coastal estuary of the Rogue River. Sports fishermen are dotted throughout the bay, trolling for fall Chinook salmon. Runs of salmon and steelhead bring anglers to try their luck. Fall and spring Chinook salmon and fall coho salmon provide year-round opportunity. In the distance looms the Isaac Lee Patterson Bridge, stretched across the river, standing tall as the gatekeeper of the Rogue River. Turning upstream, the pilot begins to push full ahead. The Rogue River adventure with Jerry's Rogue Jets begins. Today, by means of the modern jet boat, a traveler's experience is only dictated by their choice of tour, meaning how far they choose to travel upstream. Jerry's Rogue Jets offers 3 tours: the historic Mail Route, the Whitewater Express, and the Wilderness Whitewater Tours, to meet the expectations of travelers. One thing is for certain, you can't go wrong spending a day on the Rogue River. The historic Mail Route. Live the experience. Follow in the footsteps of early pioneers as you head upstream, 32 miles to the small hamlet of Agnes aboard the historic Mail Route. Yes, our daily AM departures will deliver mail to an awaiting local mail carrier 6 days per week, just as been done for well over 100 years. This is our scenic river tour. You'll utilize one of our 65 passenger vessels on the historic Mail Route, and although it is capable of traveling in just inches of water, the jet boat ride is relaxed. This is great for the travelers who seek a scenic experience. Pacific coastal estuary, abundant wildlife, pristine wilderness, and mailboat history make this jet boat tour memorable for all ages. The Whitewater Express will highlight the natural area and points of interest along the way. However, hold on. Traveling beyond Agnes will provide unmatched excitement. The Rogue River Canyon becomes narrower and the rocks bigger. 4 exciting rapids exhilarate this 8-mile section beyond Agnes. The Whitewater tours take advantage of our smaller 35-passenger vessels. These smaller vessels allow for extra maneuverability, adding to the jet boat experience. Don't worry, safety is our top priority, and our team of veteran Rogue River boatmen are the best you'll find. From the comfort of your padded bench seat, you'll be front row to this exciting day on the Rogue River. The Wilderness Whitewater Tour. Considered the top tour experience of Jerry's Rogue Jets, the Wilderness Whitewater Tour will carefully blend every aspect of what the Rogue River has to offer. A wild and scenic river is defined by sections: recreational, scenic, and wild. Each section in part highlights the characteristics inherent to the corridor. The wild section, the Rogue River's premier section, is most likely representative of primitive America and only accessible by jet boat, downriver floating, and hiking. This is the one you'll be talking about for years to come. On the Wilderness Whitewater Tour, you'll travel through all 3 sections of a wild and scenic river, something that is only possible at Jerry's Rogue Jets on the Rogue River. Around every corner is a new view, a new sight to be seen. Wildlife, both four-legged and winged, roam in their natural habitat, making appearances near the banks of the river for up-close viewing. Keep a keen eye, because you never know when a black bear, Columbian black-tailed deer, or river otter will appear. Bald eagle and osprey can be seen soaring high above or sitting perched on a nearby limb. Your jet boat pilot will make routine stops along your journey to point out points of interest, weave tall tales, and sometimes just idle along, allowing for the silence of nature to overwhelm the senses. Flora and fauna of many kinds blanket the natural landscape. Old-growth Douglas fir trees stand stoic, framing the backdrop of the scenic vistas, while smaller species like madrone, alder, hemlock, canyon live oak complement the open spaces. This is it, Agnes, Oregon. As part of your day spent with Jerry's, all of our tours will break in Agnes for a delicious meal of an open-air deck overlooking the Rogue River. Passengers will disembark the vessel and enjoy an hour break in the heart of the Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest. Cougar Lane Lodge and Singing Springs Resort will serve up barbecue, burgers, cold drinks, and more. Don't worry, there are additional options as well to meet the needs of all of our passengers. Back aboard. After you break in Agnes, it's time to head for the coast and back to your vacation. The Downriver Tour is a chance to reflect on the day's events. A successful tour with Jerry's is all about sharing the majesty and history of the Rogue River with new and returning travelers from a worldwide audience. Jerry's Rogue Jets strives to create a service that blends nature-based river tourism, guided sightseeing, wildlife viewing in its natural habitat, and adventurous jet boating on the Rogue River. Our belief is that we play a supporting role in preserving the tradition of outdoor recreation and river commerce on the Rogue River. The daily tours are rooted in the rich and storied history of those that blazed the path before us. That is our story. Jerry's Rogue Jets on the Rogue River in Southern Oregon.